channel that Maximus Fenrick built. I am a den lit by screens and neon, forged in the spirit of the pack. The digital wilds are my territory. The howl of the Fenrick pack is what gives me life. Creativity runs through my veins. The glow of the stream lights the night, but when the cameras turn on, I become a place where legends are born. Here stories are told, adventures unfold. Worlds are built from imagination and courage. I have seen warriors rise, artists create, and laughter echo through the pack. I have watched heroes level up, quests begin, and communities grow stronger together. For every stream, every game, every moment, I am a gathering place for those who run with the pack. I am the voice of the Omega. I am the spirit of the wolf. I am energy. I am passion. I am the howl in the night. And at the center of it all stands the one who leads the stream. The one who keeps the fire burning. His name is Maximus Fenrick. Welcome to Omega Fenrick Streaming.
In the neon glow, cameras flash, the whole world knows. Heartbeat pounding like a war machine, king of the screen and Omega Fenrick streaming. Static in the air tonight, pressure building red light bright. Every hater fuels the flame. Say his name, say his name. Whoa, Omega rising, feel the fire, no compromising. Max ignites the screaming sky, never backing down. Of a broken screen, glitch in the code unseen 17, carrying storms in my heartbeat's flame. They call me Omega, but I rise the same. I'm the echo of thunder before the rain, alpha instinct running through my veins. Every battle scar writes my name in the pulse of Fenrick's streaming game. Different edges of the same sharp blade. In the dark our alliance is made. When the system tries to divide, we rewrite the code side by side. Omega, Alpha, light up the night. Max on the mic, lights burning bright. Clicks like thunder in the dead of night. Controller tight, yea's in the zone. Every stream feels like a war he owns. Chest blowing up, can you feel that heat? Heartbeat syncs with the kick and beat. No backing down, no fear, no end. Every loss just fuels him again. Omega Fenrick streaming, hear the crowd scream loud. Rising from the chaos, standing tall and proud. Through the land and fire, breaking every ceiling. Max is never quitting. Omega Fenrick streaming.
Streaming identity and convention spectacle. Visual rhetoric in ANTHROCON and furry Twitch culture. Hi, I'm Maximus Fenrick. This is my project. How do visual rhetoric strategies used at ANTHROCON and by furry Twitch streamers shape their identity, audience perception, and community belonging within the furry fandom? I sat down with several furries and got their perspective and their take on the furry fandom and their use of fursuiting at conventions and online avatar streaming. At ANTHROCON, visual rhetoric is immediately visible through fursuits, badges, and performance spaces. Fursuits are not just costumes, they are carefully designed visual arguments about identity, color choices, species, selection, accessories, and expressions all communicate personality traits such as playfulness, strength, or approachability. Now on Twitch, visual rhetoric shifts into digital format, but it remains equally powerful. Furry streamers use avatars, often VR chat models or VTuber style characters, which custom overlays and animated alerts to create immersive visual identities. These elements function as branding tools, turning the streamer into a recognizable persona. Hi there, I'm Maximus Fenrick. I am a content creator and I am live on Twitch and YouTube. My beloved partner is KOWA, who is another content creator as well. We are both creators of Wolf Moon Crossings, which is our small business. This project you're about to see is for my senior level English college class at EKU. This project was a month long and very extensive. I hope you all enjoy it, and I want to thank all of the content creators in this project, and please go check them out and give them a follow or something. These guys put a lot of hard work into their content, and it's an honor to have them in this project for my class. My channel's below and the backlit on the screen here and some of the slides. Twitch.tv Maximus Fenrick, YouTube at Omega Fenrick Streaming, and YouTube at Wolf Moon Crossings.
Excuse me, wait a minute, excuse me. What's a furry? I don't even know what that is. What's a furry? I don't know.
So what is a furry? The introduction on the furry fandom and the Twitch stream culture. The furry fandom is a diverse, creative community centered around an interest in anthropomorphic animals, characters that blend human traits like speech, emotions, or clothing, and animal features. While the concept itself has its roots in ancient mythology and storytelling, the modern fandom began to take shape in the late 20th century, especially through science fiction and comic conventions in the 70s and 80s. Today, it exists as a global subculture where participants, often called furries, engage with art, storytelling, roleplay, and character design. At its core, the fandom is less about any single activity and more about shared imagination, creativity, and identity exploration. Beyond its creative outlets, the furry fandom is also known for a strong emphasis on inclusivity and community support. Many participants describe it as a welcoming environment where people can explore identity, build friendships, and find a sense of belonging. Online platforms like Twitter, Discord, and VRChat have further expanded the fandom's reach, allowing people from around the world to connect instantly, collaborate on creative projects such as this, and participate in virtual events. This digital presence has helped the fandom grow rapidly, making it one of the most visible and active internet-based subcultures today. The furry fandom, aesthetics, and potential in new objects of fanish interests. In the article View of the Furry Fandom, Aesthetics and Potential New Objects, the author argues that the furry fandom is unique among fan communities based and not centered on a single narrative, franchise, or media text, but rather on a shared aesthetic. Specifically, the aesthetic revolves around anthropomorphic animals doing things that animals don't do, which serves as the unifying feature of the fandom. Unlike traditional fandoms that are tied to fixed characters or storylines, the furry fandom allows for a much broader and more flexible engagement. This distinction is important because it expands the definition of what the function as an object of fandom, showing that visual, style, and conception themes can be just as powerful as narrative-based media. The author situates the fandom within broader theatrical discussions in fan studies, queer studies, and media culture. By focusing on aesthetics as a central object of fandom, the article challenges traditional definitions of what constitutes a text and demonstrates how fan communities can expand these boundaries. Additionally, the fandom's emphasis on identity, transformation, and representation suggests its potential as a space for exploring alternative ways of being and belonging. Overall, this article presents the furry fandom as a dynamic and innovative example of how modern fan cultures operate, particularly in their ability to create meaning, identity, and community through shared aesthetic practices. From Dunn Cameron. From Heinz Mary of There's a Little Bit of Magic Where I'm Becoming Something Else. This article explores the furry fandom as an under-researched online subculture, emphasizing how individuals construct identity through anthropomorphic characters known as personas. These personas act as extensions or reinterpretations of the self, allowing users to experiment with identity in ways that may not be possible in offline life. This is especially relevant to furry streaming, where streamers often perform through avatars or personas that embody their persona. The ability to become something else online creates a powerful tool for performance, branding, and audience engagement, which is central to streaming culture. The article also emphasizes the importance of community and belonging, particularly for individuals who identify as both furry and LGBTQ+. Online furry spaces provide acceptance and validation for identities that may be stigmatized offline. For streamers, that translates into highly supportive audience, communities that are often more inclusive than mainstream spaces. Streaming platforms become extensions of these communities, where creators not only entertain, but also foster safe environments for viewers. This sense of belonging is a key driver behind the success of many furry streamers, as audiences are driven to spaces where they feel represented and understood. From Yinjin Lee, why does Gen Z watch virtual streaming VTube anime videos with avatars on Twitch? Gen Z audiences are drawn to virtual streamers, VTube, on platforms like Twitch, emphasizing how live streaming creates a unique hybrid of entertainment and social interaction. Unlike traditional media, live streaming allows for real-time engagement, and where viewers can communicate directly with streamers through chats, donations, and reactions. This creates a dynamic environment where the audience feels involved rather than passive. However, this interaction is still asymmetrical, since viewers know far more about the streamer than the vice versa. This dynamic is especially relevant to furry streamers who, like VTubers, often perform through avatars, balancing identity, performance, and audience connection. The study highlights companionship and emotional fulfillment as a major motivations for viewers. Many Gen Z users turn to VTuber because they provide a sense of connection, comfort, and relief from loneliness. This is particularly important for furry streaming communities, which often emphasize inclusivity, belonging, and chosen family dynamics. The ability of a streamer or avatar to create a welcoming atmosphere can significantly influence viewer retention and loyalty. And last but not least, Courtney Plant from Fur Science. Being bullied and its association with non-human anthropomorphizing. The article, An In-Group Identity with Non-Human Animals, explores how experiences of bullying and social exclusion influence people's tendencies to connect with anthropomorphized human-like animals, particularly within the furry fandom. The authors argue that humans have a fundamental need to belong, and when that need is disrupted, such as through bullying or ostracism, individuals may seek alternative forms of connection. One of these alternatives is anthropomorphism, or attributed human traits to non-human entities, which allows individuals to form emotional bonds outside of traditional human social groups. This concept is highly relevant to furry streaming, where creators often embody anthropomorphic avatars as a way of expressing identity and fostering connections with audiences. The findings suggest that the furry identity, including the creation and use personas, is not simply a hobby, but a meaningful psychological and social tool. Personas often reflect idealized traits, personal struggles, and aspects of identity that individuals may not feel comfortable expressing otherwise. In the context of streaming, this becomes a powerful form of visual rhetoric. The avatar communicates personality, emotion, and identity instantly, shaping how audiences interpret and connect with the streamer. Now, for what you all been waiting for.
Everybody loves animals. Everybody loves costumes. We are all about creativity. We are all about imagination. We are all about dreaming. This weekend is our chance to say to the people of Pittsburgh, we want to share our dreams with you.
Let's start with my interview with the chairman of ANTHROCON, Uncle KAGE. The interview with Uncle KAGE, chairman of ANTHROCON, provides insight into how visual identity, communication, and community function within the furry fandom. Uncle KAGE, whose real name is Dr. Samuel Conway, has led ANTHROCON for nearly 30 years, while also working in the biomedical field with a PhD in chemistry. His long-term involvement gives him a unique perspective on how the convention and fandom have evolved over time, particularly in how they present themselves visually and socially. A central theme in the interview is ANTHROCON's emphasis on creating a safe, welcoming, and friendly visual environment. KAGE explains that the convention deliberately avoids imagery or costumes that may appear intimidating, instead prioritizing a first impression that communicates fun and inclusivity. This focus on approachability is essential not only for attendees, but also for outsiders who may be unfamiliar with the fandom. The goal is for anyone encountering the convention to immediately perceive it as a positive and inviting space.
If somebody comes up and wants to know what it's about, tell them what it's about. Cartoon animals, costumes, drawing, art, performance, creativity, dreaming. Every single one of you in here is a creator. Every one of you is an artist.
KAGE also discusses how the visual culture of the fandom has evolved significantly. In the early days, fursuits were rare and often perceived as unsettling. But today, they are an essential and widely accepted part of the convention experience. The increase in fursuit participation has made the convention more colorful and expressive, although it has not eliminated public misunderstandings about the fandom. Despite these challenges, the visual growth reflects a broader expansion of creativity and participation within the fandom. One of KAGE's most significant points is that the furry fandom is a producer fandom, meaning that it creates its own characters and content rather than relying on an established media source. This distinguishes it from fandoms like Star Trek or Harry Potter, which are built around existing narratives. While this originality fosters creativity and innovation, it can also make the fandom appear unfamiliar or confusing to outsiders, contributing to the ongoing misconceptions.
Hello! I know. 2 streams in one day. Welcome to the bonus game stream for tonight.
Now let's move on to the furry Twitch streamers. Mr. Alpha KOWA Fenrick. He presents himself as a creative, community-focused digital creator whose work blends with personal expression, storytelling, and our small business branding. Through his Twitch presence, he appears to lean into character-driven identity, one that reflects alpha leadership energy, confidence, and a strong sense of pack or community belonging. His streams likely emphasize interaction, personality, and immersive identity building rather than just gameplay, positioning himself as an entertainer and a central figure within his own evolving creative universe. On YouTube, his content shows a more personal and developmental side. One channel reflects casual, authentic uploads, initially created just to share videos with friends and family, before growing into something more enjoyable and expressive. This evolution suggests a creator who didn't begin with polished branding in mind, but instead built his identity organically over time. Meanwhile, the Wolfmoon Crossings channel highlights a shift towards purpose-driven content, including presentations and business-oriented storytelling tied to a creative brand or project. Wolfmoon Crossings itself stands out as a core pillar of its work, a creative venture that merges artistic identity with the entrepreneurial ambition. It's framed not just as a business, but as an extension of a larger narrative world and aesthetic, likely centered around themes of craftsmanship, mysticism, and community connection. This aligns closely within the pack identity seen in his streaming persona, reinforcing a cohesive brand across platforms. Rather than separating business from content creation, he integrates them using storytelling and visual identity to give Wolfmoon Crossings emotional weight and meaning. Overall, Alpha KOWA Fenrick comes across as a hybrid creator, part streamer, part storyteller, and part brand builder. His work reflects a journey from casual sharing to intentional creative direction, with a strong emphasis on identity, connection, and world building. Across Twitch, YouTube, and Wolfmoon Crossings, he's crafting more than just content. He's building a recognizable persona and a creative ecosystem that invites others to be a part of it.
正しさとは愚かさとはそれが何か見せつけてやる わけもなくでも遊び足りない何か足りない困っちまうこれは誰かのせいあてもなくただ混乱するデイそれもそっか最新の流行は当然の把握経済の動向も通勤時事尋常な精神で入社しは社会人には当然のルールですうっせえうっせえうっせえはあなたの思うより健康です一切が細胞ようなあなたじゃわからないかもねああよく似合うそのかもなくわけもないメロディーうっせえうっせえうっせえは頭の出来が違うので問題はなし
Kuro and Maximus, welcome on into Nowhere. I'm glad you guys are here. Thank you.
Next is a bright furry streamer, TENSHI MUTT. He presents a detailed look into both his identity as a furry creator and his perspective as a Twitch streamer. TENSHI describes himself as a mutt in both name and concept, reflected through his multiple hybrid personas. His main character, TENSHI, is a blend of wolf, dragon, fox, and serpent, while his other characters, such as Fizz, which is a goat shark hybrid, and KOWA, which is a pure otter, represents different aspects of his personality. Hybridity is simple complexity, and personal expression, with each sona embodying a distinct emotional, creative, and even spiritual side of himself. His designs are influenced by personal interests like martial arts, favorite colors such as sapphire blue, and deeper symbolic elements like alchemy and mysticism. TENSHI traces his connection to the furry fandom back to around 2009, though he notes that his interest in anthropomorphic characters started much earlier through childhood influences like animals, mythology, and Disney, particularly Aladdin and the transformative nature of the genie. Growing up on a farm fostering a strong respect for animals, which naturally evolved into his appreciation for anthropomorphic expression. For TENSHI, the fandom is a space where identity is flexible and deeply personal, allowing for individuals to explore different sides of himself through characters. He emphasizes that there is no single correct way to participate in the fandom, encouraging people to embrace whatever version of themselves feel more authentic. When discussing streaming, TENSHI places heavy emphasis on personality over visuals. While he acknowledges that branding and visual elements like avatars, overlays, and character consistency are important, estimating branding about 60% of a streamer's recognition, he believes that a true core of a successful stream lies in the creator's character, their authenticity, and ability to engage with the audience. He values streamers who inspire learning and creativity, especially artists and animators who share their process. For him, streaming is not just entertainment, but an opportunity to inspire others to help bring ideas to life through art and creativity. TENSHI also reflects on the broader furry fandom, known as often misunderstood by outsiders due to media portrayals and the visibility of more sensationalized content online. He estimates a divide between more adult-oriented content and the playful creative expression, arguing that algorithms amplify certain aspects of the fandom disproportionately. Despite this, he emphasizes that the community is ultimately about self-expression, creativity, and acceptance. His personal philosophy centers on mutual respect. Respect me, I respect you. And creating a safe, welcoming environment for others, both online and in person. Thank you so much, Tenshi. Now, moving into the two major furry Twitch streams, VFur and Frostbite. VFur is a Twitch streaming team within the furry and VTuber community, founded by content creator Whiskey Dingo, who we'll get to in a little bit, in August of 2023. The group brings together many streamers spanning gaming, VR chat, art, and variety content under a shared banner to collaborate, grow their audiences, and support one another. The team has expanded in multiple waves, so far 5, of new members since its creation, building a sizable network of creators with a combined following in the millions across Twitch. VFur focuses on community collaboration, aiming to connect creators across platforms and help them form friendships while creating content together. This group is also known for organizing events such as tournaments and charity fundraisers, reinforcing its role as both an entertainment network and a community-driven initiative. Now on to Frostbite. Frostbite is a Twitch streaming team founded by content creator SNOWYFLUFF. This team is made up of a mid-sized group of creators, around 40 or 50 channels or so, who collaborate under a shared banner within the broader gaming and furry VTuber streaming space. The team collectively reaches hundreds of thousands of followers and features a mix of content styles, including gaming, community events, art streams, and social just chatting broadcasts. Many of its members are smaller to mid-tier streamers, which gives the team more grassroots, community-focused feeling compared to larger, more corporate-style streaming groups. Frostbite emphasizes a collaboration and community engagement, often showcased in group streams, shared events, and cross-promotion between members. Streams frequently include interactive elements like community game nights, art raffles, and themed events, helping build a tight-knit audience across multiple channels. Now, let's bring in some Frostbite members. The leader and founder of Frostbite team,
Static sparks, the night ignites. Cold glow from the screen, frost in the air. Snowy fluff online, yeah, you know he's there. Chat like a storm, flying fast and wild. Laughs hit sharp, chaos running styled. Feel the build like a winter front. Every second louder than you want. We're in blizzard mode, can't slow it down. Snowy fluff streaming, king of the town. Through the lag and the hype, through the clutch and fall, we rise like a storm, we outlast it all.
Hi Maximus, how you doing, hon? Welcome on in.
furry Twitch streamer and the head of the Frostbite group and a member of VFur himself, SNOWYFLUFF. SNOWYFLUFF provides an in-depth look at identity, creativity, and a community within the furry fandom and streaming culture. Snowy introduces himself as a Twitch streamer who has been active for about 2 years, primarily creating VR-based content centered on conversation and interaction. He explains that his persona, a purple husky inspired by his favorite color lavender, is not a separate persona, but rather a direct extension of its real-life self. His design choices, such as the gradient purple tones, icy aesthetic, and signature floppy ear, are intentional visual cues that communicate his playful, approachable, and slight goofy personality. Through the interview, Snowy emphasizes authenticity, noting that whether online, in person, or in a fursuit, what you see is what you get, reinforcing the idea that his character is a genuine reflection of who he is rather than a performance.
The furries need me. I must post on YouTube.
A major theme of the conversation is a role of visual expression and identity within the fandom. Snowy describes how elements like his avatars, fursuits, his artwork serve as powerful tools for communicating personality, emotions, and even personal aspirations. For him, visual expression allows individuals to either present their true selves more openly or project qualities they wish to develop, such as confidence or physical strength. Importantly, he shares that participation in the furry fandom did not change his identity, but instead helped him become more comfortable with who he already was. Before joining the community, he felt pressure to suppress his natural, goofy, energetic personality out of fear of judgment. However, through streaming and the fandom involvement, he discovered that people appreciated those traits, which ultimately led to greater self-acceptance and openness. The interview also explores streaming culture, particularly the importance of branding and audience engagement. Snowy highlights that while a visually striking avatar or character may initially attract viewers, long-term engagement depends on personality, content, and interaction style. He stresses that the importance of clear and recognizable branding, such as profile images, overlays, and consistent design, because these elements create a strong first impression and help distinguish a streamer in a crowded space. Additionally, he discusses how chat features like the emotes and on-screen interactions fostered a sense of community, turning streams into shared social experiences. These tools allow viewers to express emotions, create inside jokes, and actively participate in the stream, which aligns with Snowy's dialogue-driven style. Snowy reflects on the broader sense of the community within the furry fandom and his own contributions to it. He discusses his involvement in streaming groups such as VFur and his creation of the Frostbite stream team, which he designed to give back to fellow creators who supported him. Frostbite serves as a collaborative network that encourages streamers to connect, grow, and support one another, reflecting Snowy's values of reciprocity and community building. He concludes that the interview by emphasizing the kindness and supportiveness of the furry fandom, describing it as a space where individuals uplift each other during both difficult and celebratory moments. Overall, the interview portrays the fandom not only as a creative outlet, but also a meaningful community that fosters connection, self-expression, and personal growth. Thank you very much, Snowy.
Lights go up, the forge is alive. Marko in the frame, ready to drive. Chat sparks flying like
Welcome on in, everyone, to today's stream.
Moving on to furry Twitch streamer Marko IRONFIST, who is a member of Snowy's Frostbite team. He explores how identity, visual design, and community intersect within the furry fandom and the Twitch streaming culture. Marko explains that his persona is an otter character inspired by a real-world otter species. Blending features his personality finds appealing, this character emerged during a period of loneliness in college, when he sought out the furry community for connection and acceptance. Over time, his persona has become an idealized version of himself, someone less constrained by anxiety and more expressive and confident. Marko emphasized that the visual design plays a major role in communicating personality. Elements like headphones represent the interest in audio and streaming, while glasses and a hoodie reflects more nerdy and tech-oriented identity. Smaller claws and wild hair help convey a friendly, carefree attitude. These visual choices allow his character to signal approachability and individuality without needing a verbal explanation. He also notes that visual expressions in the fandom can communicate deeper aspects of identity, such as personality traits, emotions, or even value and affiliations. In terms of streaming, Marko identifies avatars, alerts, and chat interaction as key visual components that shape his audience experience. He believes avatars are especially important because they attract viewers and convey personality instantly. Interactive features like alerts and chat trigger actions add engagement but become overwhelming if overused. He also notes that while he personally approaches branding casually, strong visual branding, such as consistent colors or themes, can help more professional streamers stand out and build recognition. Finally, Marko reflects on how the furry fandom has influenced his understanding of identity and community. He explains that participation in the fandom has helped him explore aspects of himself and he might not express elsewhere, including elements of gender and sexuality. He also addresses common misconceptions, knowing that outsiders often misunderstand the fandom due to the exposure of its NSFW, or not safe for work, side, despite it being largely about creativity and community. Overall, Marko views his character and stream presence as both personal outlet and a performance extension of identity shaped by visual rhetoric and social interaction. Thank you for your time, Marko.
Pour yourselves a little drink. Wrap yourselves up in a nice, cozy blanket. your feet up and enjoy the show. Come.
Furry Twitch streamer Whiskey Dingo, the head of the VFur Twitch partner stream and a now Twitch ambassador. Whiskey is a content creator who established a strong presence within both the gaming and the furry VTube communities. He has steadily grown a dedicated audience through consistent content, high engagement, and a clearly defined online identity. His persona centers around a dingo husky-inspired character, often humorously described as the loud yellow dog on the internet, which reflects both his energetic personality and his approach to entertainment. This character-driven branding allows him to blend elements of performance, humor, and identity into a cohesive streaming experience, making him recognizable across Twitch and other social platforms. On his Twitch channel, Whiskey Dingo streams a wide variety of content to include indie games, horror titles, party games, VR chat experiences, often leaning into chaotic, comedic, and reaction-driven moments. A defining feature of his streams is the level of audience interaction. Viewers are not just passive observers, but active participants. Through chat engagement, channel point redeems, and real-time responses, his community-driven directly influences the direction and the tone of each stream. This interactivity creates a sense of unpredictability and excitement, where no two streams feel the same. A significant aspect of Whiskey Dingo's identity is his connection to the furry and VTube communities, where visual representation and character design play into a major role in self-expression. He incorporates anthropomorphic avatars and digital personas into his content, using them as extensions of his on-screen identity rather than separate characters. Over time, he has updated and refined these avatars, aligning them with his evolving brand and streaming style. Whiskey Dingo's brand is defined by high energy, strong audience engagement, and a welcoming, community-driven atmosphere, often referred to as the Dingo Den. His content emphasizes humor, authenticity, and interaction, creating a space where viewers feel included and valued. The combination of consistent branding, interactive design, and community focus has helped him stand out among Twitch streamers, particularly within the avatar-based and furry streaming spaces. As his platform continues to grow, his ability to adapt, entertain, and engage ensures that his content remains both relevant and impactful within the broader streaming landscape. Thank you very, very much, Whiskey Dingo.
Heartbeat racing through the wires tonight. Screen lights flash, another night goes live. AYDAN in the zone, feel the energy rise. Chat blowing up like a wildfire spark. Every play cutting straight through the dark. Feel the tension building in the sound. Every second till it all goes down. We're running in the foxfire rush. No slowing down, no losing touch. Through the chaos, through the flame, AYDAN's calling out your name.
I'm sure, Maximus! I'm sure! Damn it, I'm sure!
And now on to the wonderful furry Twitch streamer, AYDAN Fox. AYDAN is a member of the VFur Twitch stream team. My interview with AYDAN explores his long-standing involvement in the furry fandom, his identity as a streamer, and how visual expression plays a role in both. AYDAN explains that he has been a part of the fandom since childhood, and a view of anthropomorphic Fox character not as a separate persona, but as an extension of himself. Rather than developing elaborate lore or backstory, he treats his character as a direct reflection of his thoughts, emotions, and personality. His design choices, such as the monochromatic color palette and distinctive accessories, are driven more by aesthetic preference than symbolic meaning, though he acknowledges that earlier aspects of his character may have loosely reflected his emotional state at the time.
Max will clip all that out and make it into a YouTube video, guys, for you later. Now I'm just assigning Max homework.
AYDAN emphasizes that personality is the most important element in both the fandom and streaming. While visual elements like avatars, overlays, and alerts can enhance a stream, he believes they should support, not overshadow, the streamer's personality. He prefers a clean, uncluttered visual style and uses interactive elements strategically to create engaging, community-driven moments. He also highlights the importance of consistency in branding, particularly maintaining a recognizable name or icon, as drastic changes can disrupt audience familiarity and connection. Ultimately, he views his brand as simply being authentic to himself. The interview also touches on the social and emotional dynamics of the furry fandom. AYDAN describes it as a broad, diverse, and generally welcoming community where individuals connect through shared interests while expressing themselves in unique ways. He notes that tools like emotes, fursuits, and VTuber models enhance communication as they foster a sense of belonging by allowing users to visually express emotions and identity. For him, using a 3D avatar that tracks facial expressions is especially meaningful, as it mirrors his naturally expressive personality and helps convey emotion more clearly to his audience. Finally, AYDAN reflects on his growth as a streamer and his involvement in collaborative communities such as stream teams. He discusses the importance of active participation within his groups. Overall, the interview presents AYDAN as someone who values authenticity, community, and meaningful interaction both within the furry fandom and his streaming career. Thank you so much for your time, AYDAN.
Neon flicker shadows in the den. KODA's live, let the chaos begin. Chat lights up a wildfire spark, running wild through the digital dark. Every howl echoes through the screen, living loud in a lucid dream. Run with KODA, feel the night ignite. Through the highs and the lows, we fight the fight. From the stream to the feed, hear the voices roar. We're a pack, we're alive, always craving more. Tweets like thunder striking every vein. Every post got a spark, can't contain. From the laughs to the grind, never backing down. Turning every lost round into a crown. Feel the rush when the moment hits. Every second electric, can't resist. Run with KODA, never fade away. Through the noise and the fire, we're here to stay. From the chat to the crowd, hear the anthem rise. We're the howl in the dark, we electrify.
I hope all of you have been having a wonderful week. Hi, pretty kitties and Maximus. Isaac, of course. How are you?
That Wolf KODA, a VFur member and a furry streamer on Twitch. The interview ultimately reveals a sophisticated understanding of streaming as a form of performed identity within a mediated space, especially on Twitch. Rather than treating his persona as a simple avatar, KODA positions it as a rhetorical construct, a deliberate composition of visual symbols, behaviors, and emotional cues designed to communicate meaning. His wolf identity operates semiotically, traits commonly associated with wolves, loyalty, strength, and pack mentality, subtly reinforce at how he wants to be perceived as a creator. This means his design choices are not just the aesthetic, they are symbolic arguments about who he is and how he fits within the furry and streaming ecosystems. Another important aspect in the sense of community that develops through interaction. By acknowledging viewers, incorporating chat into stream moments, and having recurring jokes and shared traditions, the experience becomes more engaging and participatory. Over time, this can create a strong sense of connection and shared identity among viewers, where people feel that they are a part of the group rather than just the audience. This is where especially meaningful communities like the furry space, where belonging and self-expressions are important. In this context, KODA streams functions not only as entertainment, but also as a social space that encourages interaction and connection, while still requiring balance and awareness as the community grows. Finally, KODA frames his work within an ongoing process of iterative creativity and technological adaptation. His stream is never finished. It evolves as he refines his avatar, upgrades tools, and responds to audience's feedback. This positions streaming as a hybrid discipline that blends art, performance, and digital production. In the context of VFur, this evolution is also collaborative, as creators influence and inspire one another's techniques and standards. Taken together, the interview presents KODA not just as a streamer, but as a designer of experiences, someone who consciously integrates identity, symbolism, technology, and community into a cohesive and meaningful digital experience and presence. Thank you for your time, that Wolf KODA, for the interview. In conclusion, I hope you all enjoyed this. The visual rhetorical strategies used at ANTHROCON and by furry Twitch streamers demonstrate how identity, perception, and community are actively constructed through both physical and digital expressions. Whether through fursuits at conventions or avatars and overlays on Twitch, these visual elements function as a powerful communicative tools that go far beyond the aesthetics. They act as intentional representations of self, allowing individuals to explore identity, convey personality, and engage audiences in meaningful ways. As the research, interviews, and the studies show, these visual performances are not just separate from reality, but they are deeply integrated into how individuals understand themselves and connect with others. Furthermore, the combination of live interaction, symbolic design, and community participation creates spaces where belonging is not only possible, but is actively reinforced. From the immersive environment of ANTHROCON to the interactive nature of Twitch streams, visual rhetoric shapes how communities are formed, maintained, and experienced. Ultimately, the furry fandom illustrates how modern digital and physical cultures are increasingly centered on visual identity as a form of expression and connection, highlighting the evolving role of media, performance, and creativity in shaping human interaction and social belonging. I want to take a big special thanks to all the streamers who put their hard work into their content, their time, and their money to what they do. I want to thank Maximus Fenrick, TENSHI MUTT, SNOWYFLUFF, MARKO, IRONFIST, Whiskey Dingo, AYDAN Fox, and that Wolf KODA. Thank you very much for taking your time out of your day to sit down and talk, and thank you for all the content that you create. Thank you so much for all that you do. Also want to give a big special thanks to ANTHROCON and to Uncle KAGE. Thank you so much for everything you do, the convention you put on every year. Thank you for helping through both projects, Uncle KAGE. It really means a lot to be able to sit down and talk with you, and thank you so much for all your help.
You shouldn't be asking who we are. You should ask who we were. We were the fat kid. We were the brainy kid. We were the bookish kid. We were the kid with the big, thick glasses. We were the kid concerned about his sexual identity. We were the kid who couldn't throw a baseball. We were the kid who, for whatever reason, all the other kids said, "You don't belong with us." Now, human beings, as social animals, crave companionship. And denied companionship by our peers, we sought it out the next best place we could find it. Some of us looked to the stars, others to the far past of human history. We looked to the happy, smiling, accepting faces that we saw on the Saturday morning cartoons. Now, to answer your question, who are we? We are adults who never forgot our old friends.
Thank you guys so much for watching this presentation. Like I said, this is a very extensive project. We're about an hour long. Thank you all so much. Thank you for all the streamers. Thank you for all the interviews, all the time that you've been able to put into your content, your work. Thank you for sitting down with me and talking with me. This really has meant a lot, and you really have helped me out with this class and with this project. I appreciate it and look forward to watching more of your all's content and learning a lot more, and I'm hoping to one day join some of these teams. Thank you all so much. My name is Maximus Fenrick. Please go check out my channel at Wolfman Crossings and Omega Fenrick Streaming on YouTube. And please check out on Twitch, Maximus Fenrick. You can find me there. Stop by, say hi, follow, subscribe, what have you. Thank you very much for your time. Have a good night.
Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel and hit that bell. Please support small content creators like us.